Hey, you ever have trouble understanding what those arrow functions is and why we use them and why can't we just use the regular old functions and make things more confusing? In this video, I aim to pretty much make that simple and make using arrow functions pretty much second-hand nature. So typically what we'll have in JavaScript is we'll have like a function keyword, right? And like say we have a function, like say we have a function named cat, and we'll have our parentheses for arguments that we're going to pass, and then we'll have our brackets, and we'll just return something. So let's say we want to return a string name. My cat's name is Bob. Like say we want to return that, and let's do a console.log, and let's return the variable cat. And want to save it. And here I'm going to Control Alt N. It's pretty cool. I have a plugin that runs this. But anyways, so yeah, we see in the console it'll print out my cat's name is Bob. So that's typically the traditional way we write a function. So what in ES6 syntax arrow function, what that does is it allows us to um, do different things within that as you pretty much learn about those arrow functions and this keywords and state and stuff like that. It allows us to really be flexible in certain things. But let's get the syntax down packed, which is the nature of this video. So all an arrow function is, so you don't get confused, is you're basically doing the same thing, but you're just not going to write function at first, right? So let's say we want to do an ES6 arrow function. We're just going to write the name of the function. That's how we want to start. We want to start with cat. And instead of doing your parentheses right away, let's not do that. Let's put an equal sign. So here we are. We have a cat. It's equal sign. It looks like we're doing a variable. So in JavaScript, let's do const, right? So we have const cat. All right, so now we have the equal sign. Let's do our parentheses where we're going to add arguments. Typically, we would do that right after, right, in a traditional function. But an arrow function, what we want to do is we just want to pretty much put an arrow. And there you have it. That is pretty much the same thing as this, a traditional function. This is something that once I got down pack, I kind of understood things more because when you're willing and dealing and you're learning and you're following different tutorials or you're writing code on your own from things you've learned, you're going to be dealing with a host of different things when it comes to like writing things in your on your controllers and logic. You're going to be dealing with if-then statements, try-catch blocks, asynchronous code. And when you see something like this, you kind of get confused, like, hey man, why are we doing this? So you're confusing me. So this is an arrow function. Like say for example, we want to do like a template literal, and all that is we want to do like some HTML. So I would be like, I'd be like my name, or my cat's name is money sign, and in the parentheses, let's pass in two arguments. Let's pass in A and B, and we want to say Bob. I'm trying to remember. No, we're going to pass in the actual variable. Sorry. So my cat's name is A. He, okay, let me wait, comma. He is money sign blank. Let me go back. Sorry, blank years old. Like I have big fingers, so sometimes I get kind of trapped up in here. So that's a template literal, and we can use a return statement. So all that is we're returning this thing inside of this function. So when we call this particular function and its prospective positions, we're just going to pass in two strings, right? So you're saying my cat's name is Bob, and he is 2 years old, and that's a number, so it's not a string. So he's 2 years old, and put a comma. So now when I save that, and let me do my Control Alt N, we're going to see this is what's printed out in the console log, or this is what is returned from that particular function. So that's pretty much all an arrow function is. is, again, we're taking away this function keyword, and we're just starting off with the name of the function. And const, you're going to do your equals, and then after that equals, we're going to go ahead and put in our parameters or arguments, excuse me, and we're going to have the arrow, and inside our parentheses, our curly braces, we're going to do a return statement. So that's what like an arrow function does. And when you start learning about arrow functions, you can see it written in different ways. Like a lot of times in code, you'll see an arrow function written like this. Let me just go ahead and write my parentheses, and I'm gonna write this here. I'm gonna write cat. Let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. I think I need that actually. And hey, I'm Paul. Let's see, money sign, and we're going to pass in B, and we're going to do console.log. We're going to return the function named cat, and we're just going to pass in, let's say, two. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a string. I keep doing that. And let's see, I made a mistake somewhere. So, oh, no, I didn't. Let's just blank that out, save it, Control Alt N. So we see here is getting undefined, and why is it getting undefined? Is because we have to. There we go. Let me just clear this out so you can see it. Control Alt N, and there we go. So reason I just want to do that real quick, and basically sometimes you'll see an implicit arrow function, and all that does is it implies that you're only going to return one thing. So we can take out that return statement, we can take out those curly braces, and we can just pretty much, we can just write it on one line. And sometimes you'll see things like that, which is a function. So that I just wanted to share that a little bit of information that really helped me as I learned on my journey. And I'm just looking at like 1,000 lines of code, and I see something a little weird here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.